Nobody becomes broke by accident. Broke gets practiced, quietly, for years, long before anyone is old enough to understand what they are learning. Matt was 7 years old the first time he attended that class. He didn't know he was in one. He was just standing in a grocery store with his mother, watching her pick up a box of cereal, look at the price, and put it back down. She didn't explain it. She didn't have to. She just reached for the store brand and kept moving. Matt watched. His brain recorded. And somewhere in that small, quiet moment, a lesson got filed away that no school, no book, and no financial advisor would ever be able to touch. That was the first day of his financial education, and nobody had any idea it was happening. By the time Matt was 12, he knew things no 12-year-old should have to know. He knew which bills made his mother's jaw tighten. He knew the difference between the voice she used with landlords and the voice she used with everyone else. He knew that the end of the month felt different than the beginning. Heavier. Quieter, like the air in the house changed. He didn't learn any of this from a lesson. He absorbed it, the way children absorb everything, completely, without filter, without question, without any framework to tell him that what he was watching was one way to live and not the only way. His brain did what brains do. It built a map of how money works, of what people like them do with it, of what is possible and what is not. And then it filed that map away in the place where identity lives. Not in the place where information lives, in the place where you keep the things you never think to question. Matt graduated, got a job, got a better job after that. And then something started happening that he could not explain. Every time money arrived, it disappeared. Not all at once, slowly, the way water finds its way out of a container that looks perfectly fine from the outside. An upgrade here, a new expense there, a reason to celebrate that turned into a habit. And then the account would settle, back to familiar ground, back to the number that felt normal, back to zero. He tried budgeting. It worked for a while, then stopped. He tried saving automatically. He found reasons to dip into it. He tried investing. He cashed out early. Every tool worked until it didn't. Every plan held until it fell apart. What Matt didn't understand was that he wasn't making financial decisions. He was making identity decisions. Every single day, without knowing it. The map his brain drew at 7 years old was still running, still navigating, still steering him back to the coordinates it had memorized in that grocery store aisle. Because that map didn't just record what his mother did with money, it recorded what people like them do with money. And Matt still believed, somewhere below the level of thinking, that he was people like them. This is the part that financial advice cannot reach. You can change the information a person has without changing the story a person carries. And the story always wins. The story runs deeper. The story runs faster. The story was there first. The only way out is not a better system. It is the slow, uncomfortable work of looking at the map and asking when it was drawn, who drew it, and whether the territory it describes still exists. Matt's mother did the best she could with what she had. That is not the point. The point is that survival strategies passed down through childhood have a way of becoming identity. And identity has a way of making financial decisions long after the survival is no longer necessary. You are not broke because you are lazy. You are not broke because you are unlucky. You are broke because somewhere along the way you got very, very good at it. And the first step out is simply knowing that. Now we're getting into the next part, and knowing it is harder than it sounds. Because the map does not announce itself. It does not send a warning before it makes a decision. It just moves, quietly, the way it always has, the way it was built to. Most people spend their entire lives improving their circumstances without ever examining the story underneath them. They make more money and find new ways to return to zero. They get opportunities and find reasons they are not ready. They watch other people build wealth and tell themselves those people are different, lucky, connected, born into something. But the difference is rarely the opportunity. The difference is the map. So here is the only place to start. Not a budget, not an app, not a new savings account. Start by watching yourself. The next time you are about to make a financial decision, any decision, pause for 3 seconds before you move. Not to stop yourself, just to ask one question. Is this what I want? Or is this what I was taught to want? That pause is the beginning of drawing a new map. It will feel uncomfortable. It will feel like you are betraying something. That discomfort is not a warning. That discomfort is the sound of the old story losing its grip. Matt is still out there, older now, making more money than his mother ever dreamed of. And finally, slowly, learning to pause before he moves. That pause is everything. Subscribe, because the next video goes deeper into the patterns that keep smart people financially stuck, and you will not want to miss it.